and in this session, we'll be looking at the physics lesson plan. My name is Patrick Eje. Now, at the end of this session, you should be able to explain a lesson plan and also prepare lesson plan for effective teaching. So, what then is a lesson plan? Good. So, the physics lesson plan can be described as a daily guide to physics instruction. And because it is a guide, it helps the teacher in presenting a good and effective physics lesson in the physics laboratory or classroom. And the same manner in which a compass gives a navigator his bearing is the same way that the physics lesson plan also guides the teacher in his teaching, because it gives the teacher a sense of direction. Now, a physics lesson plan is a daily outline of learning activities for physics students at the senior high school level. And note that it is not only at the senior high school level that we prepare a lesson plan. At the basic level too, a lesson plan is also prepared. And as a physics teacher, you should be able to take the advantage of the extent of materials covered in the preceding physics lessons and the successes or failure of past physics lessons. So you realize that once you prepare your plan, the plan is giving you a sense of direction as to the various topics to teach, the methodology that you employ, the various learning activities that will be used. Now, because this is a plan and this is written, you find out that if the various strategies that were used to teach the topic were successful, then it becomes a plus to you. So subsequent lessons, you know that, or subsequent topics that are related to what you just taught your learners, you can at least have an idea that method A, B, or C is going to work. And also, you should be able to find out the various weaknesses, the challenges that were encountered. And for this reason, it is not proper as a physics teacher to think of preparing a lesson plan several weeks in advance. So under normal circumstances, lesson plan can be prepared, let's say, for week 1. And after week 1, after you, the teacher, having assessed the learning outcomes, and you are now convinced that the objectives have been achieved, then you can prepare a lesson plan for week 2. But then some teachers may say that since I don't have time and I'm on vacation, let me prepare all my lesson plan for the whole semester. What happens when after treating your first topic, you find out that you were not able to achieve your set objectives? It means the one that has been prepared for week 2 cannot be used. You have to prepare another one for week 1 again and go and teach the lesson before you can move on to the next topic. Now, what is the format of a suggested daily physics lesson plan? What should be the format? So every lesson plan must have a general information, and the general information must give us components such as the subject, and here we are talking about physics, the class, and an example is SHS1, the date, and in the date you must show the day, the month, and the year. The week, the unit. So we are looking at the unit on work, energy, and power. And which topic under this unit? We are looking at the concept of power, or sometimes it can be the topic will be the work, energy, and power, and the subtopic becomes the concept of work. Now, average age of your learners. And here we are assuming I have an average age of 14 years. And this can be okay because year 1. Time of lesson, 10 to 11. So 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And so the duration of the lesson is going to be 60 minutes. Now let's look at instructional objectives. And these are the objectives that are stated in terms of what a physics teacher is going to do during a particular lesson period. So you realize that instructional objectives focus is on the teacher, the various activities that will be done by the teacher to ensure that the learning outcomes are achieved by the learners. And here it focuses, like it was said, on the teaching processes rather than on the learning outcomes to be attained by the students. So as regards this lesson, and we saw that we are using the topic, the concept of work. And so we can have instructional objectives such as to explain the concept of work, to explain measurement of work, and to derive the units of work. These are activities that the teacher will guide the learners to do in the classroom. Now let's look at behavioral objectives. And these are the objectives that are stated in terms of the outcomes the physics teacher expects from his or her teaching. And so you see that the attention is now shifted from the teacher to the learners. And as regard the topic that was stated, that is the concept of work, we can have a behavioral objective stated as, at the end of the lesson, the student or students should be able to define work done, explain how to measure work done, and derive the units of work. So these are activities that the learner should be able to do after going through the various concepts on the topic work done. Now, what are the elements of the lesson plan? And the physics lesson plan, when it is properly written, should reflect the following elements. So it must provide us with the general information. And the general information, we must have the school, the subject, the class, the age, the time and duration, the topic, the units. All these are general information. We need the objective. So what product or processes or affective objectives does the physics teacher have for this physics lesson? And these objectives can be written, should be written in precise terms, and they can be stated either instructionally or behaviorally. But you realize that it is better to state them in terms of the behavioral objectives because it is the learners who will be assessed at the end of the teaching period. And the outcome of that assessment can provide you, the teacher, with a wide range of information which will consist of the student's understanding of the concept as well as the effectiveness of the various teaching methodologies and learning experiences that were being employed in the classroom. Now, it should also have a resources. So what equipment, what teaching aids, what test materials will be needed? Another element of the physics lesson plan is the introduction. And this relates to how the physics teacher prepares physics students for the lesson. And normally this is the session we review students' previous knowledge so that you get them ready for the topic that is to be treated. And there should be learning activities. And so the learning activities should include both activities for learners as well as the teacher. So here we have the presentation as well as development of the lecture, laboratory work, discussion that you will use here should all fit the objectives. In other words, your learning activities that you are going to employ in the classroom or in the laboratory should be able to help you, the teacher, to achieve your set objectives. And it should also have a time allotment. So approximately how long do you expect each activity to last? So we saw that we had stated 3 behavioral objectives. And this is what will form the development stage of the lesson. And so if I have 1 hour to 3 days, then let's say definition of work is going to take us 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Then the next activity, we must provide the time that will be used for every activity. And there should be evaluation or an assignment. And here, how will the physics teacher determine if physics students have learned what he or she have taught? And the physics teacher may decide to give students some work to do at home or during the lesson or at students' free time in the school. Now, students, in this session, we look at the lesson plan preparation as well as the format of the lesson plan. We saw the various elements as well in this session. And as we bring this session to an end, let's have this as a take-home. Why is it not proper for a physics teacher to prepare a physics lesson plan several weeks in advance? Get an answer for this and be ready to defend your answer when we meet in the next session.